but at the same time reminds us of something that's ancient. And that's such a nice compliment on the other side, because it's the same thing. So this is a sculpture by Joseph Havel, and it's called Twins, and so it's exploring the idea of, because it's fabric. So he basically used the fabric to create the form for his casting process, because this is cast in bronze. So if you look closely down below, you can certainly see the flow of fabric and playing with material, really playing with that. When we think of bronze sculpture, we don't necessarily think of bronze sculpted twin sheets. So this is a giant eyeball.
No.
This is called eye, would you guess? And this fits so well into that category we looked at last week of like the bowling pins, the giant bowling pins, or the dropped ice cream cone. It's something that we recognize from everyday diameter, so it's a little bit double the size. And it was on display in Chicago for a time. It was a temporary installation, and he called it Eye on Chicago. That idea, just another little twist to it that's so interesting, is that the actual appearance of this giant eye, Tony Tassett based on his own eye. So have an artist's work shown, to loan it to an institution such as this, so they might be here for a few years or they might go away. And those are basically kind of all the categories of the different things we have. So this is from that original gift to the park. It's the Gox number 3. Now, another series is the Abstract Variation series, which is a bunch of different shapes that are placed together. Another series is the Poet series, which is over there in the woods, that are a bunch of made up geometric exercises. So that's what the whole thing is about, is geometric exercise. So it's a play of different shapes. So we've got the one kind of perfect example of negative space. Many of these sculptures are kind of the high polish look of this, but many of them are painted different colors. So they have a bunch of these different measured rectangles and cubes that are placed together. They're basically like some sort of masonry block, concrete blocks that are mortared together in this very modular repetitions pattern that just kind of ebbs and flows in and out. And this is called Intricate Wall. It's by an artist named Saul LeWitt. And this is one of my kids' favorite sculptures, because if you walk around it, which I'll invite you to in a minute, there's tons of, they're small, there's tons of little places they can hide in there. It's kind of this overall effect of seeing all of that together. So then when work kind of evolves, this one is by an artist named Gene Heistein, and it's called Ada's Will. And the title really doesn't have anything to do with the idea of the sculpture. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. His mother, like some sort of a shape that we would find existing in nature, like an egg-like form, like this, and then taking that shape and re-envisioning it to create a sculpture, such as I hired to do small-scale replicas of the sculptures in the park that can be touched. And then they're accompanied by a text panel, and then the content of that text panel is then reproduced in Braille. So a person with a vision impairment that might not be able to experience the sculptures in the same way as we see them and read about them could come and feel the contours and get a sense of the shape tactily, and then read about it in the Braille. So there's usually meant to just be temporary. There are some sculptures that the park has loaned to other places in the St. Louis area over time. Off the top of my head at this moment, there's one in Chesterfield, I think in the area right around there, Faust Park, you know, with the arms that go like this. Yep. Smokey the Bear, because he's got that hat. No, I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. Okay, like a super sleuth, because he's got his hat and his briefcase. What other things? Does he have a briefcase? Yeah. Well, this kind of shape here is kind of like he's holding a briefcase.
This is man.
And kind of the contour. Jonathan Borofsky, early in his career, in 1969, he decided that as a method to focus his attention, as a method to help his concentration, kind of a meditative sort of a pursuit, he started to count. And what he did is he started to count, but he counted on paper. So he started with pieces of paper, and he started at 1.